Okay, it finally happened. So I have been on the search for like a good free quilt, like just something someone's giving away and doesn't care about. Because I don't know about you, there's some problematic things in Seven Brides for Seven Brothers, but I still adore that movie, and the costumes are impeccable. I love that movie. Like, I cannot describe how much I love those costumes. But anyways, I've been wanting to make like a skirt from a quilt for the longest time because of that movie. And someone put out a bunch of free stuff outside of their house. And in it was this old quilt. There's some holes and stuff in it. It's not in perfect condition. It's kind of faded and pale, like so. I'm gonna turn this into a skirt inspired by Seven Brides for Seven Brothers. So she wore like a. I'll put a picture of it over the screen so you can see it. But I don't want one that's like completely white that would like show stains and stuff on really easily. So I'm first going to dye the quilt. So some color options I have are, I have like an emerald green. It's coming up very aqua on the camera, but this is like there's a bit more green than it shows on the camera. I have this light blue, which I was leaning towards using, and then I have this like more appley green. Or I could do, hold on. Actually, I'm also not hating the idea of doing like red. This is coming off very orange, but this is like the scarlet red, and then this is like a darker red. It's called Wine. I actually really like this color. Should I do red? Should I try to dye it red? It's such a hard decision. Do I want to do red? So the colors on this already are blue and yellow. If I did a red, it might turn some of these like purplish. I don't know if I should try to stick with like a blue or do like, the problem is I don't have like a darker blue. I think doing a darker one would, oh my gosh. Decisions. I need to figure out what color I want this. I'm not destroying a perfectly good quilt. Like, there's spots on this already. It's old, it's worn out, the colors are faded. There's some holes in it, like there's tears here. Like, it's not in perfect condition anyways. So by me turning it into a quilt, no, I hope, no, I mean, some people get upset about that, but it was on the side of the road being just left there for someone to pick up for free. Like, it's not in perfect condition. Do we want to do pink? This is such a hard decision. Pink or red? Or the light blue? Okay, I think I'm gonna try the red, the dark wine red. Because it would help, if I dye a darker color, it's gonna help cover up stains and things, I think. To make them not as obvious. And if this fails, I can always dye it black. We'll just keep going darker until it's fine. I'm gonna do the red. I don't know if this is a good idea. Alright, so I have it draped over a ladder outside right now, and right now I know it's still wet, but it looks like a very nice dark kind of berry pinkish red. I think it's probably turning up redder on the camera than it looks in person. Maybe. I like it better than the white faded color that it was before. So this is what it looks like right now. Alright, so this is how the quilt turned out. It is a little splotchy in some spots where it didn't get it as dark, but I think it's fine. I can always dye it again when it's in skirt form. And then maybe because there won't be so much of it, it might be more of an even dye. Maybe I could get more of that red to make it more vibrant. We'll see. But I'm going to use this pattern. Patterns always are super long on me unless they're the half sizes, because those were made specifically for shorter people in the vintage patterns. But this one has a 30-inch waist, so I'll just cut around the margins a little bit larger just to make sure I have enough room in there. And I think this will end up being full length on me, because normally when a vintage skirt pattern like goes to like T-length or like below the knee, usually it's full length on me. So I think I might be able to use the pattern pieces just as they are. Hi, Condor. Hi, my baby girl. This weekend, she and Rivendell just reached 2 pounds, so they can get spayed. They'll be getting their appointment soon, won't you? You like it? You show up really well on this color, honey. Yes, you do. Oh, there's Rivendell. Hi, baby. Oh, you're so hyper. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, back to sewing, even though they're being so cute right now. Oh my gosh. You've gotten so big. They were just tiny bottle babies a few weeks ago. Yeah, now you're eating. Oh my gosh, they're so cute. Okay, let's get back to this. Okay, so this is the front of the skirt pattern piece. And it looks like the middle seam is straight, so I could theoretically just flip it and not have a seam in the center front, which I think I would prefer. So I think I'm going to get some pattern weights and then I'll start cutting out. And I have to be careful that these kittens don't tear up my pattern because I really like this one. Gondor! Okay. And in spots where there are holes, I'm actually considering doing like patchwork blocks over them that are decorative and also would hide the tears so that it won't fall apart. It'll help strengthen that area and it'll be a cute design feature. So that is my plan. Oh my gosh. Condor, you need to chill. Oh my gosh. Alright, so the front is cut out. Now I'm going to do the back, and the back can be cut in 2 separate pieces because I'm probably going to use a zipper in the center back. Isn't that right, Gondor? Oh my gosh. You guys are making this very difficult, but you're having so much fun. Oh my gosh. Don't play with scissors. You are too young to play with scissors. Oh my god. Okay, so my skirt pieces are cut out, and I might attempt to make a, what do you call it? Like a quilted bodice. A bodice that would match. So I do have a vintage 1950s pattern that comes to mind when I think about that. So we will see if that will work. Okay, so this vest one is the one I was thinking of for the top part to match the skirt. But I also did find this one that would work. But I think I still might go ahead and do this one. Alright, so we have the vest front and the back. Now just to see if there's any way I can get a vest out of the remaining pieces. So I pinned the darts into the vest, and I'm about to sew those so we can start assembling. And I do have a pink dye, a bottle of dye left, so I might just go over it with that. We'll see. And then I think the spots that do have tears, I'm gonna go over with decorative patches, so they'll both mend and like strengthen around where there are tears, but it'll also be a decorative element. And I don't know what fabric I'm gonna use for that, but I think it'll make it pop more. So it'll be kind of good looking, I guess. I don't know. That's my plan. Oh my gosh, I love it so much. It is so cute. I took it up in at the top a little bit because it was a little too big, but now I think it's nearly perfect. There is still a little bit of room. I could probably take it in just a little bit more, and then it would be perfect, but it's like nearly perfect. But what I might do is actually re-dye it at this point. So I already sewed around the edge of the top vest bodice, and I'm gonna go around and do that for this, so that all around the edges it'll be re-sewn together so we don't risk it falling apart. So I'm gonna go around all of the edges of this first, and then I'm gonna re-dye it using the pink, and then hopefully it'll give it a more overall even color. So that's what I'm thinking. Okay, I found it. So this is the pink that I'm going to go over it with. So it's lighter than the initial dye that I used, but I'm hoping it'll just even it out a little bit, just to kind of help even the dye. And I want it, because it came out as like this kind of berry pinkish purple red, I think toning it with the pink might help. Because I do really like the berryish kind of color of it. So I tried to wring out as much water as I could, but for now it's just gonna hang out here in the sun, and we won't know how the coloring came out until later. Alright, so this is how it looks the next day after being kind of re-dyed in a pink. I think it looks fine. It'll be fine. I think the like fabric patches and the binding will kind of add a bit more of a flair to it, so I'm going to show you something. So I've gone through my fabrics and I've saved like little just scrappy pieces, and what I'm thinking is I'm going to turn these into those patches and sew long strips of binding made up of these fabrics, and it'll add, you know, some variation in color, and I think it'll be kind of cute maybe. I don't know if it's gonna exactly look that great, but I'm just gonna kind of make, you know how you make bias binding, but it's not gonna be cut on the bias. I'm just gonna use these bits, cut them up, sew them together, and see what it ends up looking like. At one point I did actually start cutting up scrap pieces of like cotton into uniform squares to possibly make into a quilt, but this is like as far as I got. Just cutting them up into uniform squares, so I might use some of these as patches. I do like the sunflowers, and I really like this. I think it's cute. So we'll see what happens. Okay, so right now I'm ironing out my scrap pieces of fabric, and I just love this one so much. I'm pretty sure I got it from a thrift store 10 plus years ago. Like, I don't even remember what I made with it, but I liked it so much that I even kept these little bitty scraps, even though I don't know what I could do with such a thin piece, but it's so pretty and it's such a beautiful color. It's like this berry pink kind of, it's like a dark reddish berry pink with these white little floral design on it. It looks really cute. Like, it's actually showing up on camera fairly good, like color-wise. It is just so cute. I want to make like calico gunny sax dresses out of this. If I could find more of that would be amazing. And this one is also super cute. I love this one. It would make such a cute fall, just adorable dress. Oh, there's actually Quiltgate? Quiltgate.com. So that's where this one is from. Wonder how old it is. I think I've held on to these scraps of fabric for, actually it's probably closer to like 12 years, honestly. Yeah. I also really like this one. It's so cute. This is what I've cut so far. Alright, so the skirt is done now. I just finished on sewing the last patch, and everywhere you see a patch is where there was a tear in the quilt. So I thought I would end up adding more patches than I would need for decorative wise, but there was actually so many little tears all over it that there's patches pretty much all over it. So I think yeah, like all of these patches are where there was tears. So I really am transforming a quilt that was not in a great condition. It had, I think there was a couple blood spots, just like little drops. Maybe someone cut themselves, I would hope. I hope it wouldn't be from something else. But it was faded. It was like left on the side of the road to be picked up for free. And yeah, so I'm making it into something usable, and it's so cute. I love it. Now I need to work on the bodice, so I need to do buttons and buttonholes, and then there's also some tears on that from the quilt, just fabric. I didn't try cutting like around the where it was tearing at all. I just kind of cut it out as it was, and then figured I would add patches later. So I still do need to sew patches on the bodice part, and I need to do buttons and buttonholes.